Production support for the Friday Zone is provided by the Margaret A. Cargill Foundation and by WTIU members. Thank you.
Woo! Taylor, what's going on? Is it snowing?
Yeah, we're chilling out in the Friday Zone today. We've got some cool science experiments and we get an inside look at an icy situation.
Sounds awesome. I'm gonna go get a coat.
Okay.
You're not alone, you're in the zone. So hang up the phone and get in the zone. Get in the zone, the Friday Zone. You're in the zone, the Friday Zone. Everyone is invited to come. Everyone is invited to come. Everyone is invited. Get in the zone. Everyone is the Friday Zone.
I'm so glad we got that snow problem taken care of, Taylor.
Well, snow or no snow, we are chilling out on today's show. And we'll get started with some cool science folks from the Terre Haute Children's Museum right after this.
Brrr! It's cold. Do you know what season it is? It isn't spring. Summer? Not even. Fall? Nope. It's winter. Winter. The season of coldness, iciness, freezing temperatures, and brrr. And also it's really cold. But you know what? I kind of like it.
And we are joined by Lynn and Abby from the Terre Haute Children's Museum, and they are here to do some dry ice experiments. And we also have our friend Jared to help us out. So, ladies, take it away.
Well, today we're going to do some experiments with dry ice. I mean, what do you guys know about dry ice?
It's really cool.
I don't know much about it, but I'd like to know what form it takes, because how can ice be dry? It's water.
Yeah, it's an interesting name for it.
It's really, really cold. It's negative 109 degrees. Like, think about how cold 0 is.
So could I throw a snowball at you of it?
Yeah, no.
What happens if you
You don't want to do that.
If you touch it with your bare hands, what happens?
You could get frostbite. Like, you have to be really, really careful with dry ice. Dry ice is frozen carbon dioxide. And I mean, we all know what carbon dioxide is. We breathe that out.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so, like, we breathe in oxygen, we take out the carbon dioxide. And so, unlike most solids, though, what happens is it doesn't melt into a liquid. It actually melts into changes into a gas through a process called sublimation. And so we're going to do some experiments today with dry ice. And but first things first, we want to make sure that everybody knows the safety of dry ice. Because it's obviously an activity that we don't want kids to do without parents' supervision. And so we're going to be the parents today. We're going to be the parents today. You don't want to touch it with your skin because you could get frostbite, and obviously you definitely don't want that.
I want to keep these.
Keep your fingers, exactly. You don't want to eat it or swallow it, again, because, I mean, if your fingers are going to get frozen off, you don't even want to think about what can happen.
Don't want to know.
No, exactly. You don't want to, put it in an unventilated container. One of the things about dry ice, again, as it changes from the solid state to the gas state, there's a lot of pressure there as it's changing. And so first thing we're going to do is do a little experiment with Abby with a film canister and a little piece of dry ice.
Okay.
We have this film canister here, and I'll get a little piece of ice.
So now it's important because you have professional gloves on, right?
Yes, I have leather gloves, and I also have safety glasses on, wearing long sleeves.
Okay, so we were just talking about the pressure buildup when it changes to a gas. So, Jared, what do you think is going to happen here?
I don't know. I could guess that it might explode.
Let's find out.
See what happens.
No
Takes
way.
it just a little bit of time, but this is what can happen if you're not safe with dry ice.
Exactly.
It's just gonna melt, right?
Well, you never know. That's why it's always important to wear goggles.
I'll be the skeptic.
Yeah. Should I have my goggles
and gloves? Yeah, block your eyes. Another thing with dry ice, you don't want to put it on like a countertop there. I mean, you could crack your countertop again because it's so cold. You know, if you have it in your car, you want to make sure you crack your window open and make sure that it doesn't. Again, you don't want to be contained in a vehicle with
Much dry ice.
Dry ice.
Oh man.
Exactly. You also don't want to store it in your freezer because you know it's so cold that it can turn your freezer off.
Oh, whoa.
No kidding.
But a lot of people use it to keep food cold. So, you know, people will use dry ice to ship food to people.
Okay.
Like if your power
Oh!
goes out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so surprise.
I was waiting for something and then it caught me unexpectedly.
Got
So that's all that pressure
All that
buildup from when it's converted
exactly,
to a gas.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's
Cool.
just a little piece of dry ice in that container. And so, you know, it takes a little bit for it to get enough pressure to explode that. But still, you know, people have had a lot
So
of...
where would you want to store it if you have it?
That's great. What we do is we have just a little styrofoam container here, and it's not airtight, but it keeps the dry ice. And so one of the things they tell you when working with dry ice is because it does change into that gas form so quickly that you want to, you know, get it right before you need it. So, you know, we just bought this right on our way here. So we picked up the dry ice, kept it here, and by tomorrow it'll all be gone. So it'll just change into a gas state. And so we've got a few more experiments for you here. And so
Let's,
Abby's
let's check those out.
do you want to do the bubble one next?
Sure.
Okay.
We have a big jug filled with water, and the first step is to add the dry ice to it. We have to add quite a bit of dry ice. So we're gonna get started
one.
here, and you're
Okay.
gonna see it bubbling, and that's
smoking a little bit
Yep,
too.
so it's changed. A lot of times you'll see dry ice in like drinks and stuff. People will make punch with it.
And you can drink it?
Well, you have to be careful with it. You have to get the food grade dry ice, and then you have to make sure you get a big enough block.
So there's a different type of dry
Yeah,
ice.
there are different types of
Okay.
dry ice, and it depends on what kind of materials it was made out of. But
Okay.
the dry ice that they have in punch, a lot of times it's just a big block in the bottom of the container, and so you don't want to actually ingest the dry ice. So you make sure it's at the bottom, and so what you're seeing is just the gas coming out. So you're never actually going to consume the dry ice. It's just there for effect.
Wow.
A lot of people do that at Halloween for different parties.
So it's just going to turn into water now, right?
Yeah. So it's just and you can touch that. You can touch it. Go ahead. And
Kind
touch
of
it.
warm. It's not really cold for ice.
So that's all safe to feel. It's fun. We see it a lot of times in special effects just because it looks cool.
Use it for a fog machine.
Exactly.
So
it is a
Jared,
lot.
do you know what's being produced right now?
All this.
Do we know what this reaction is?
Smoke or steam might be a different chemical other than air.
It's turning the
This is actually just the gas form of carbon dioxide.
Really?
Yeah, it's in the solid form, and it's in warm water, so it's changing its state. It's turning into its.
And that's
gas
what's being
form.
released through the
Yep.
bubbles.
Yep.
Wow, that's
so
really
we are going to
Learning a lot today.
hook this on here.
Okay.
You got it?
This in.
Okay, and I'll take this end.
It's already
Already coming.
And we are going to make some bubbles. And sometimes it
kidding.
takes a little bit of time,
Oh wow!
and it makes.
That's so
awesome.
cool.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
If you want to, you can put these on, and we can see if
Yeah,
we can
yeah.
have you hold
Here you go.
them.
you
Grab
can
those.
pick it up and hold it?
You can't use your bare hands. The oil on your
you go,
skin
and put one on.
actually makes the bubbles pop, so you have to use.
So I can pick it up or just put it in
Nope.
my hand.
It looks like an egg.
Oh, check that
there you
out.
are.
Oh,
I got it. Cool, huh?
that is really cool though.
Yep. And if you handle it really carefully, sometimes you can bounce
So
it
and
back
that's
and
just
forth.
is that just soap over there? or is
It's
that-
just bubble solution,
Okay.
some dish soap.
Oh,
Yeah.
And how is it staying? How is it staying in this form?
We just have a really strong bubble solution
Okay.
that's holding it together.
And it's keeping all that gas in the
Yep.
bubble.
And it's
so
sinking.
cool.
Carbon dioxide is actually heavier than the air around us.
Cool.
So that's why it isn't floating in the air like normal bubbles.
yeah, because
heavy.
I see how it it's
It's
more
bouncing.
solid. It
Yeah.
bounces and
So
it pops.
what do we have next? What's our next
Exactly. All
experiment?
right, the next
Okay.
experiment is going to be something similar.
All right.
We're going to do something over here
like
with some
these.
bubbles.
This is kind of a cool one, and you can touch this stuff too.
Okay. Gloves on.
Yeah.
the glove on?
Nope, you don't have to keep the gloves on. Those were just so that the bubbles didn't pop for you.
Okay.
I'm going to put some dry ice in each of these containers. There's nothing special in it, it's just water.
Okay. Just colored water
Yep,
Yes.
just colored water.
for visual effect.
That's right.
Okay, and do you want to help us with this one?
Go ahead, Jared.
If you want to take some of this soap and put a little bit into each container. Just
I
a
feel like
tiny
we're in
little
like
bit.
a laboratory right now.
I know.
Crazy
It's okay.
stuff.
The mad
So this is probably what they
scientists
use in
and
movies and stuff to make these
Exactly.
effects. It's really cool.
Oh my gosh, that looks like a real science experiment.
It's like a science lab we have going on.
And now
Fake
you can,
the lab.
you can touch these
lab.
bubbles, and you'll release the carbon dioxide into the air with the little
So
smoke.
again, it's like if you pop all those little bubbles, it's just like, you know, when you had the little bubbles before, it's
Yeah.
all that gas is inside of there.
Okay, I gotta try this.
Fun, huh?
This is so cool.
And I can.
Oh, they
So again,
You can hold them too.
weird.
these are things that, you know, parents, at the Terre Haute Children's Museum, we really encourage parents to get engaged with their kids in science, because so many kids are struggling with science. It's not fun, but I mean, this is fun stuff. And so, you know, you can, as a parent, can go get some dry ice, do some of these fun experiments with your kids, engage them in these fun activities, and really get them interested in learning about science, loving science, and seeing all the cool things that are happening with it.
Oh, totally. They look like frog eggs.
They look like a type of egg.
Yeah,
We can try to do a small bubble.
Well, awesome. Well, cool. Thank you guys so much. This was some awesome stuff we just learned.
I gotta try and hold another one of these bubbles. I seriously, I do. I like it a lot.
Oh, you're talking about the big bubbles?
Let me
yeah.
add some more dry ice.
It looks so fun. And this is just water and soap. It is
warm
so
water.
easy.
And do you guys, Lynn, Abby, you guys have a website people can check out?
We do. It's www.thchildrensmuseum.com.
Okay.
And on our website, you know, you can learn a little bit more about the museum. You can see about upcoming programs that we have. We do a lot of different stuff. These are fun and easy things for us to do to give our guests different experiences.
And if people
about
don't
the
know where
museum.
Terre Haute is,
Yeah, it's about an hour from here, 45 minutes.
From Bloomington, Indiana, okay.
From Bloomington, and it's a really easy drive, and on scenic 46.
Cool.
And the Children's Museum is located in the downtown area, and we have a brand new facility. We've been there since September of 2010.
so it's brand new.
Brand new,
What did you
brand
guys
new.
do before?
We had a 3,000 square foot facility in Terre Haute, and now we're in a 26,000 square foot
Wow.
facility.
So big jump.
lots of more room for
Lots
activities.
more room. We have a 2-story tree house where
Oh,
kids can climb
cool.
up into. We have a big bubble ring. We have an agriculture exhibit, a water table. We have just a variety of fun things going on.
A
at the
lot more than
museum.
dry ice.
A lot more than dry
That's
ice.
awesome.
We've got a
pretty
fairy
cool,
tale
huh?
ball coming up in April.
That sounds awesome.
Exciting.
So
And they can
Take
find
me.
all this on the website.
Exactly. All of it's on the website, and we'd love to see everybody. And
Awesome.
come on down
Absolutely.
and make bubbles with us.
Well, you guys, this was so much fun. I think that there's something cold like ice cream coming up next.
Yeah.
But we'll take a break, so catch this flashback, and we'll be right back.
Snow Monsters is a clinic with a professional instructor for kids ages 5 through 12. Skiing and snowboarding are taught for all ability levels, especially beginners.
All we're gonna do is we're gonna take little baby steps like this. And just move like this so we can walk up.
We do get a lot of beginners in the program. It's a great way to get the kids started, and the parents can have them taken care of and learning all day while they're out having fun and possibly learning themselves.
Just like that. Good job, girl. Wave at the camera.
The trainers link learning to things that are familiar to everyday life. Terms like pizza and French fries tell the kids to form their skis into a particular shape.
And pizza. Good job, Alex. All right, that's 2. French fries.
Well, the first thing we do is we teach them how to fall. Just like if you were to fall walking down the street, you don't want to put your arms out to catch yourself. You want to fall over on your side, or what I call the most padded part of your body. You want to keep your arms up and try, just let yourself fall naturally. Most of the time it doesn't really hurt that much, and it's part of the fun.
Ricky has been skiing for 8 years. She says it's not as hard as it might look.
So it doesn't really take that long. You can go down the hill once or twice and you know what to do, pretty much.
Well, the great thing about skiing and snowboarding is they're lifetime sports. Once you learn to ski or snowboard, you have a great activity that you can do all winter. Doesn't matter what your age is, and it's something that you can do for a lifetime at all ages.
But don't let the lack of snow at your house keep you from winter sports. Well over 100 snow machines can make enough snow to pack the slopes.
The good thing about man-made snow is it's very dense and it lasts quite a bit longer than natural snow.
Good snow is not only for skiing, but tubing too.
tubing's really fun. It's just these hills, and it's a big tube. It's got a plastic set under it, and then it's covered with fabric. And you just sit in it, and then they push you down the hill. But there's mats at the bottom of it, and when you come to the mats, the tube will stop, but it will hurt your butt.
Many of the kids come back year after year, and sometimes they'll even become instructors as they grow. So it's a great feeder program for our ski school staff, but you get to watch the kids grow up. It's a lot of fun.
Whoa. Ever wonder what makes it rain? Go to the FridayZone.org to play the new Weather Zone game and learn about all different elements that affect weather. Learn about temperature, and humidity, and pressure, and how they combine to create all kinds of different weather conditions. So let's have fun and explore the wonderful world of weather at FridayZone.org.
Cecilia's got a cool trick you can do with an ice cube and a piece of string. First, challenge a friend to pick up an ice cube using the string. No matter what she tries or how she loops the string, she'll never be able to do it. But you can. The trick is to use a little bit of salt. Secretly sprinkle it onto the ice cube. This salt will melt the ice, and when you put the string on top, the ice will refreeze around it just enough to let you lift up the ice cube. An amazingly easy trick. Nice job, guys.
Did your parents tell you to ever close the refrigerator? Mine did.
Oh!
Ooh.
Hey, Jared.
Just like that.
Hey.
Well, when it comes to making things cold, nobody gets the job done like our pal, the refrigerator.
Yep, and we are going to get a close look inside. We brought an expert, Rick. Thanks for coming in.
You're welcome.
And so, we've got a refrigerator here. Tell us how this thing works.
Well, probably what we should do is maybe turn it around.
All right, cool.
Spin it around a little bit here, and we'll
Wanna
show
help
you
there?
what
This is a big machine.
what's on the back here first.
You guys are strong.
Yep.
Jared,
this one to the professionals.
I don't see this side very much.
You don't see this side very much.
No.
So what have we got Jared doing right now?
Nobody ever pulls them out to clean them, so you never do see them. He's just taking the back panel off here. The panel's on there really more or less just for airflow.
Okay.
But now listen, don't do this at home either. Your mom and dad will get real mad. This is your main component, the compressor here.
Okay.
Actually, it compresses your Freon. And then what it does, the Freon here.
What is Freon?
Well, it's a gas.
Okay.
Called dichloromethane.
Okay.
And
Doesn't it get really cold?
it does, and it could burn you also.
Oh, wow.
Somewhat like your dry ice,
ice.
but that's another show, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, if you have Freon sprayed on you, yeah, it'll give you burns.
So that's what's keeping that bad boy cold.
Yeah, what it does is compressor discharge line, which you can't see real good, but it's right down here, discharges hot gas out of there.
Okay.
And it goes into a condenser, which is up front here. It's kind of like a radiator on a car.
Okay.
And that's what this condenser motor here does. It's a fan.
Okay.
It pulls air in from the front and across that condenser, just like your car does with a radiator fan.
Keeping it
Cools that gas that's running through the condenser. If this stops and breaks, which is a common problem, the gas does not get cooled. It gets sucked back into the compressor, overheating the compressor and turning it off prematurely. Then you've got a problem. You see your ice cream's melting.
Get
all
some
that
nasty
stuff.
foods in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
All your fishes,
Yeah.
falling out, smelling.
Terrible.
So, but it all runs through there. This is a filter dryer, kind of like a gas filter on a car.
Okay.
It takes out impurities, any moisture, stuff like that. And
Sounds like one pretty complicated machine. It's similar to a car.
yeah, well, a lot of people think these are real involved. They're really not, especially if you're into it for years and you understand it. It's really not that big of a deal. But it's really pretty. It's more or less. It's pretty simple. But
So you said
gotta
that
know what you're doing
when the
with
fan stops, that's a common problem. What are some common problems people have with their refrigerators?
Your condenser motor stopping, like I just spoke of. Compressor can go bad. These are motor controls that are on your compressor. It will sense temperature. If the compressor is overheating, it will turn the compressor off. It's a relay and an overload, it's called there. Those sometimes will burn up, causing your compressor not to run. Compressor doesn't run, you get no Freon running through anywhere, no cooling.
Gotcha. Well, let's check out some other parts.
Okay.
This is the back. Do you want to turn this around?
Yeah, let's turn it around again.
All right.
Okay.
Go back the same way here.
This is so good.
All right.
Put this back here. All right.
So the front, I'm used to this side.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll go in here. Jared, you got your tool?
Go get it. Go get it.
You lost it already. Okay.
All right.
Got a screw up there you can take off. Now this is obviously the freezer. A lot of people think that a refrigerator has really 2 cooling compartments. It's only one. All your cold air in, yeah, just go ahead and pull that down. Pull it right out.
There we go.
All your cold air is made in the freezer. The way your food compartment here, or people call this the refrigerator and that the freezer, it's really all a refrigerator. This is your freezer compartment and your food compartment. The way your food compartment gets cold, this down here is more or less just a cooler like you would carry to a ball game. It's just a cooler, that's it. What happens is it robs air from the freezer through vents here, supplies that air down here, and then there's a return also up here, and the air just circulates back up and through
So is
there.
your Freon first starting out in the freezer?
Yes.
That would be why the freezer is colder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now this gets real cold. The Freon runs through here. It gets real cold. This is your evaporator motor. That's another reason you could lose cooling, especially down here, because this circulates that air and pulls it down here. So if that motor goes bad, which is common, you have no cooling down here. But once again, this goes through here. Your Freon gets real cold, circulates all your cold air up here. This here is a defrost heater right there. And you wonder why you have a heater in there, but that's what keeps these frost free. So you don't have to manually defrost them like you did, grandma and all that back in the day.
So that's sometimes when I go in there and I get out a chicken breast and it's just covered in frost, I probably have a problem with the defrost.
These usually will come on, say, every 6 to 8 hours, depending on the defrost cycle.
Okay.
When it does, that heats up, and you've got, it heats up, and then you've got a defrost thermostat here.
Oh, okay.
These are usually average around 60 degrees, something like that. So when this kicks on, it'll kick on for a time period usually, sometimes about 30, 40 minutes. If it gets to be 60 degrees in here before that time period is over, it shuts that off. Because if it stays on a long time, you're going to end up cooking food and stuff like that.
So it sounds like they're kind of, refrigerators are smart. They have things in there. Is
I don't got a
technology,
brain.
oh, kind of, but is technology changing the way refrigerators are being made?
They're more efficient. They're running a lot of low voltage stuff to save energy.
Yeah.
I'll show you here maybe a little bit if we have time about a defrost control. But it's more like a 24-hour clock on this. It'll just go every 6 to 8 hours into that defrost cycle.
How cold are freezers typically supposed to be, and how cold is the food storage unit supposed to be?
Usually a freezer, you're going to want 0 to maybe 8 degrees, somewhere in there.
Okay.
When you have a problem and you start losing your temperatures, first things in freezers that you'll feel the problem is is the ice cream or frozen juices. Those are the hardest things to freeze. Meats, breads are also hard. You'll feel those getting soft. But usually the most common thing on these things is something with the defrost cycle, the defrost thermostat, the heater, or the defrost timer, which is down here. And then it never defrosts itself, so it just keeps frosting up. Then it restricts your airflow.
Cool. Now I know we don't have it on this refrigerator, but what about the refrigerators that have the ice machines on them and stuff like that? How does that work?
Well, this you can put one on here. Here's your fill tube for the ice maker, but an ice maker works off of temperature.
Okay.
Most ice makers you have to have less than 16 degrees for it to operate.
Okay.
Because if your refrigerator's not working and let's say it's above 30 degrees in here and you're on vacation or something, it's going to keep cycling and bringing water in, bringing water in. So if it's not below 16 degrees, your ice maker won't cycle. But ice maker also has a little heater underneath of it, most of them, and it'll melt the outside layer of the ice, scoop it out of there, refills, freezes, and just keeps going.
Well, thanks, Rick. I think we learned a lot about how refrigerators work. I know I'm just used to just putting the food in, but cool. Well, We are going to start putting this back together, so while we continue doing that, you guys take a break for a moment of science.
This time on A Moment of Science, chill.
A moment of science.
Here's an experiment you can try at home. It's neat, it's educational, and best of all, it doesn't involve anything that could explode or become poisonous or make a terrible smell. Put 2 pennies in the freezer. When they're nice and cold, line them up on a table with a third one in the middle that wasn't chilled. Got it? Now, using one hand, put your first and third finger on the cold pennies. No surprise, they'll feel cold. However, you may be surprised to find that when you touch the remaining penny, the one that wasn't chilled with your middle finger, it too will feel cold. Even better, try lifting up your first and third fingers while leaving the middle one down. Now the unchilled penny feels warm again. Replace your first and third fingers on the cold penny and the middle penny will feel cold once more. What's going on here? Along with sensing such things as texture and pressure, your hands tell you the temperature of the objects you touch. It's extremely uncommon, though, for a single object to have radically different temperatures. Your senses have evolved in a world where one object generally has one temperature. When you touch the cold pennies and the warm penny, your fingers give back unusual data to the brain. The brain makes sense of it, and by averaging the sensations together, in effect, it says, this object feels mostly cold, so I'll assume it's cold. Pretty weird, huh? I'm Mandy Strife, and this has been A Moment of Science. Science.
So Rick, I have a question before we say goodbye. Sometimes I leave my refrigerator open. Sometimes if I'm pouring a glass of water, finishing up my recipe. Is it bad for the refrigerator?
No, it's if you leave it open while you're cooking, stuff like that's not going to hurt. If you accidentally leave it open, it goes overnight, or you go on vacation or whatever, this fan we talked about that's running will suck warm air in.
Ooh.
And it will clog. It'll create like a snow frost, and it'll clog these vents. And once again, you restrict your airflow, and you're calling us.
Calling you. Well,
Cool.
twofold.
Awesome.
Well, you guys, thank you
by.
so much for coming with us today. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I want to thank Lynn and Abby for coming in today and talking to us about dry ice. Remember, you can check out this episode and other episodes on our website and see more behind-the-scene photos from today's show.
And remember, too, you can get in touch with us right here on the show, too. So share your thoughts or give us an idea for an upcoming episode.
Till then, remember to live, learn, and play the Friday Zone way. We'll see you here next week.
Bye-bye.
All right, Jared, let's put this thing back together. You know how to do it now, right?
tool.
Production support for the Friday Zone is provided by the Margaret A. Cargill Foundation and by WTIU members. Thank you.